Sparkles, and I am headed from Bastrop, Texas, in this little bitty 1920s cabin that's way off in the country, heading over now to Austin. So, yeah, happy eclipse, everybody. Happy eclipse. This is a phenomenal healing eclipse due to the fact that it's an anomaly. This eclipse is exact to the degree and exact to the minute. To the minute with this eclipse and Chiron. So you have a super new moon in Aries. You have a solar eclipse. And you have Chiron exact to the minute. That doesn't happen. Like, that's never happened. Okay? Chiron is the wounded healer, but I like to call him the wounded leader. Okay? Because he was rejected at birth by his parents, you know, the god Zeus and the sea nymph. So he was born into this rejection, abandonment wound that many of us carry, right? He was born into that already. So what you have to realize is that he is someone who is going to have to overcome quite a bit, right? He was born out of rape. See, the mother, sea nymph, Neferia, she didn't want anything to do with Zeus. She could shapeshift herself into different forms, and so she shapeshifted into a mare, a horse. And, well, Zeus was too smart for that, and he shapeshifted himself, and he ended up getting what he wanted. Zeus was not the nicest of gods, you know. He was, I take what I want it, all powerful. And they made Chiron, and then when he was born, his mother was so disgusted, she just could not with him, and she rejected him. And the father, of course, you know, he ate all his children. But she didn't want him to eat this child, you know. So there was a lot of other stuff that went down with that. But he ended up being raised basically by Apollo. And Apollo taught him all kinds of wonderful, you know, from science arts to regular arts to, you know, philosophy, you know, all of he became this freaking genius. Chiron is a genius. Highest of high, most highest genius. But he always carried the wound of abandonment and rejection. But he made medicine out of that fucking wound. That's the biggest thing that I'd like to say with all of this. This eclipse, so before the eclipse, and it's happening here in like an hour, but before the eclipse, we need to all make sure that we're tapping into the wound that we all carry. And everybody has one. Everybody. You cannot be human and not have some kind of deep wound that you've carried most of your life. Tap into that and then love it. And love the versions of yourself that got you through to where you are now. Then release it and let it go. Let it go to the shadow of the eclipse. And then when that eclipse, if you are somewhere where you're able to view it and see it, when that eclipse starts to come past, you know, and all that light starts streaming back in, it's a rebirth moment. It's a reset moment. You know, it's a complete humanity DNA upgrade, reset, change. transformation, metamorphosis type of energy. You know, it's so powerful. So powerful. I did the grid, the beginning of phase 1 of the grid, and then the second phase I started, and I left it back at that cabin because I knew that it needed to be in that space. I don't know. Don't ask me why. I'm just following higher guidance and doing what they tell me to do. But I didn't know that at this conference, we're not going to be able to see, but I think they said 80 to 90% of the eclipse. And so I'm going over to Austin because I'm going to see the fucking eclipse. I didn't drive all this way and do all this to not experience a full 100% eclipse. So yeah, I'm missing a little bit of this wonderful Team Light conference. And it's been just, yesterday was great. But I'll head back as soon as the eclipse is over. I'm going to head back to the conference and catch the end of it. I have another couple of friends. There's many of the people at the conference that are leaving in order to go. Just, it's like literally, I'm driving 45 minutes to an hour to a friend's house. A friend of a friend's house that I was invited to go to with Kate Lumley. So yes. This is not an eclipse to be afraid of. It's not an eclipse to be scared of. This is not, you know, the more propaganda that news puts out behind stuff, that should be your ding, 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 ding. Hey, man, this is something I need to pay attention to. Now, I am happy that people are finally starting to pay attention that these types of astrological cosmology events matter. Like, it matters. You know, our ancients were studying this stuff for millennia, you know, forever. As long as we can think back, even back to the times of the Lemurians. You know, they studied the stars so that they could understand the cycles. That's all astrology is the cycles. Understanding the cycles. So anyway, I just wanted to pop on here. I did a TikTok live, but then I lost signal, so I tried YouTube, so here we are. And I'm about to be getting up in here into traffic, so I'm going to let you go. Anyway, I love you guys. Happy solar eclipse. All the world is watching and all the universe is applauding you. Love you so very much. Walk in the light and spread the sparkle. I'll try to turn this off. There we go.